Hi, and welcome to your 15-minute workout. For today, our workout actually is going to be some release work, and I thought, what better place to do some release but outside? And for today, you have a few options of props that you can use. You can have a massage stick or rolling pin. If you have two small balls, such as tennis balls or racket balls or lacrosse balls or bouncy balls, you can put them in a tube sock. You can also use a foam roller. So I'm going to demonstrate some release or rolling out techniques that you can use with each of these props. If you have all of these props, feel free to mix and match and try them all out. And if you don't have all the props, consider getting them to try them out. And I'll kind of explain the difference between one prop versus the other and how one feels versus the other and benefits of all of them. But use the props that you have, but I will demonstrate a little bit on all of them. So first, let's start with our fingers. So take your middle finger and your ring finger and find your occipital points. They're the bottom of your skull. They're like little knobs at the very bottom. So kind of go from your ears along your hairline towards where your spine meets your skull, and you'll feel two little ridges, and place your hands on the top of those ridges and gently go in a circle. This is a great thing to do in the shower or give yourself a scalp massage. But the shower is a fantastic place to do it because there aren't, first of all, not so many distractions in the shower, and the warm heat feels great. So if you have a tendency to get headaches or stress, tension headaches, this is a great thing to do if you start to feel it coming on, or just something to do on a regular basis to try to prevent them. Also, it helps with neck pain, shoulder pain, back pain. Even just a little massage here and on the neck can even make your legs more flexible. It goes all the way down to your legs, and that's due to fascial tissue, which covers all of our muscles and connects literally all of us from head to toe. And then now you're going to take your rolling pin or your massage stick, and you're going to go not directly on your spine, but just to the side of it. So feel for a moment and feel the muscles just to the right and the left of your spine, from the base of your skull down to where they connect at your shoulders. And you're going to roll them out with your rolling pin, whichever version of a rolling pin you have. And as we do this release technique, it's very normal to feel tender in a spot, almost like you're pushing on a bruise. And if it just feels tender, that's a good spot to kind of stay and work in. If it feels more like a sharp stabbing pain, then that's a really tight spot, and it might be better to back off in that really tight spot and work kind of around that spot, and then work in a little bit deeper and a little bit deeper. But it's very normal for massage with all of these various props to not be very comfortable. It's not a spa massage, more of a sports therapy massage. And then switch sides. And as I said, you can play around with the different props. This part of the massage is a deeper massage with the rolling pin or massage stick. If you do this with your foam roller, it's going to be gentler. So you gauge which kind of massage you need for today, and then choose the prop accordingly. And how you would do that on a foam roller is lie down with the base of your skull and your neck on the roller and roll your head side to side. If you have tennis balls or other massage balls, yoga tune-up balls would work also. You can put those on your occipital points instead of your fingers and move your head side to side or up and down. But you're going to hold the balls kind of in place with your fingers and then just move your head side to side for a little massage. As I said, the massage stick or the rolling pin is going to be a little more intense. So that's the base of the skull and for the neck. And now to move along, this is a little trickier with your rolling pin. It does require a little flexibility. I'll show from behind. You're going to take one end in your hand, point it down like you're going to scratch your back with it, reach from behind at the bottom, feel around, find the massage stick. And now I'm going to go not right on my spine, but just to the side, just in this case to the right, in between my shoulder blade and my spine. And it does take some practice to figure exactly how to get way up here by your shoulder, or down a little further, and then switch sides. So as I said before, between the spine and the shoulder blade is where you're going to be rolling. Now, if you have a foam roller, this is how you do it. The foam rollers can be more intense, and also depends on the type of foam roller you have. This one is kind of medium as far as how deep of a tissue massage it is. The white ones are going to be the softest. The black ones are going to be the hardest, and then there's other ones between that have bumps and ridges, and those just depends on what material the foam roller is made out of, how soft it is. You can hold your hands behind your head for some support. And once again, you're gonna roll over. In this case, you are rolling over the spine, but those muscles kind of stick out, so you're gonna still hit the muscles in between the spine and the shoulder blades. And to get the lower part of the spine while we're here, you're gonna place your hands back behind you and lift up your pelvis slightly and roll back and forth. And then take your roller. Here's how to do that one. I'll turn around again. Have it behind you, once again to the side of your spine. And you're rolling down to just above your pelvis. So you feel down, you're going to feel a bony ridge at the top of your pelvis. Just roll to there. And last but not least, the balls. With the balls, go to the top of your thoracic spine, so below your neck, kind of near where your shoulders are. And one ball is to the right of your spine and one's to the left. And you're going to roll back and forth. And then stop. You can either scoot yourself up or adjust the tennis balls with your hands and move them down a little bit further. This does take a little bit of practice. And roll back and forth again. You can also stop and just hang backwards over the balls. For a stretch, that's also an option. Once again, feeling a little tender is normal. If you feel a sharp stabbing pain, that's just a tight spot. And as I said before, work around that tight spot, and as it loosens up, then you can get closer to it. And again, as the ball goes a little further down, I can let my head rest back. I don't have to hold myself up, but I can still lift my pelvis and kind of roll forward and backwards or go side to side. And it does take a little practice. And work your way all the way down to that top ridge of the pelvis. And while we're here with the balls, I'll show the next part. So you're going to take both balls underneath your right tush. You can roll side to side. You can roll up and down. You can do this lying flat. You can do it on your elbows. You can do it seated. That's an option. But you want to cover all the musculature of the rear end from the top of the pelvis where you feel like the muscles kind of like, oh, there's some meat there, all the way down to the sit bones from one side, from the outside all the way to the inside. You can go forward and backwards. You can rock side to side. You can do any kind of combination of that. And then do the other side. So once again, you can lie down. You can come onto your elbows and come to here. or you can sit yourself all the way up. Sitting up is going to be the deepest tissue massage. Lying down will be the least. So it also depends on how tight you are and also the type of ball that you're using. I have tennis balls. If I was going to use lacrosse balls or massage balls, this would be even deeper. But because they're tennis balls, they have a little bit of give. It's not as deep of a massage. All right, so now we've done from the base of the skull all the way down to the tush with the balls. With the massage stick, you're going to come to kneeling, hold on to your massage stick, roll out one tush, and then roll out the other. This is the gentlest of all the massages. So you could do that with the foam roller. I'm going to face you so you can see it. I'm going to sit on top of it with my hands behind it, one leg crossed over. So in this case, it's my right leg. Then I will shift to the right tush and roll back and forth. So similar idea as what you had with the tennis ball. On the foam roller seated is gentler than the massage balls. You can also adjust how far you lean. If you need to get into a little spot a little further over to the side, and then switch feet. And same with with this exercise, like the other ones. Depending on the type of foam roller you have, the material it's made out of, that will change the massage and how deep it is. All right, come off of your roller if you're on a roller. And as I'm demonstrating the different tools, you can stick with one of them. And today's video, because there's multiple props, you may not have all of them, you may not want to use all of them, you may sit, watch, learn how to do some of them, and then you can always fast forward and go, I don't have tennis balls, let me skip the ball parts, let me go to the other ones. You can always just use the parts of the video that make sense for you. And now on to our legs. Grab your rolling pin, stretch one leg out long, and start by rolling out the top from where the hip crease is here, the femoral fold, down to just above the kneecap. Don't go over your kneecap. And roll back and forth. You get to adjust how much pressure goes down. And then shift a little bit over to the side. And I do between like the 5-ish, depending on the tool I'm using. Depends on how I'm feeling. If I'm like, yeah, I don't like this one today, either switch props or just do a couple or lighten the load. Or even if you feel like, this isn't doing much, I don't really need this. Okay, do a few and then move on to something else. So I'm going to the side, but not directly on the side, not to the IT band, the iliotibial band, but just forward of that, just off of that. Getting the muscles that actually run underneath the IT band. And then you can get the inner thigh. And then switch sides. Top of the thigh. Almost to the side. And you may notice that one leg does not feel like the other one. One might be tight on the outside while the other one's tight on the inside. Or they might be symmetrical and the same. So that's with the massage stick for the fronts, insides, and outsides of the legs. With a foam roller, you're going to go into a little army crawl. So the roller is on the middle of my leg. And if I army crawl and bring my shoulders forward, it goes down to my kneecap. If I army crawl back, I can go all the way to my femoral fold. Pull myself forward to my knees. And then back. So you may have to do a little army crawl forward and backwards. You might find a spot that's good for your elbows to be in that you can just pull yourself forward and back. Right now I'm doing it with my kneecaps pointed down towards the floor. You can also rotate the legs so the kneecaps are pointed out to the right and to the left. That'll get in a little different spot. like I said, about 5-ish rolls. And then to really get onto the inside, I'm going to drape my top leg over the roller. You can sit yourself up or you can lie down. And roll forward towards your device and then away. So you're rolling towards your stomach, then rolling towards your back, going from way up into the inner thigh down to just above the knee. And you can adjust the position of this leg too. You can point the toes and the knee down a little bit. That'll go into a little different spot. And then I'll swing my legs around, other side. Drape the leg over the roller and roll forward and backwards. And now to do the outer thigh with the roller. You're going to have, this is a bit trickier, one hand's me on the mat. You're going to set yourself up so, as I said before, it's not directly on the side, it's slightly forward. I'm going to come onto my forearm. This foot's going to stay on the floor and give a little push. And I'm rocking myself forward and backwards. Not directly on the side of my leg, but just slightly forward of that. From my hip crease down to just above my kneecap. And then switch sides. So to set up again, I'm sitting a little side saddle on the roller. My top leg's crossed over the front with the foot on the floor. Bottom leg's out. I'm going to come onto my forearm and roll. Oh, adjust the roller down a little bit. There we go. Swing it all the way from the top down to just above the kneecap. And next. And you can experiment with the balls. I personally don't find them as useful for quads, and hip flexors, but you're welcome to play around with them. They might work for you. So you could, especially with them in a sock, same idea. You'd lie down and roll back and forth. You might like that and feel that it's nicer than the foam roller. But essentially you do it the same way as you would on a foam roller. You would just do one leg kind of tucked up to kind of help pull you forward and backwards. And then switch legs. So take the ball, take the other leg out to the side, use your forearms and use the leg that's out to the side to roll you forward and backward. And I would say in reality that really, because of the way of the two balls, it kind of sort of hits the inside and the outside. And then maybe take a rolling pin to get some more specific spots if you need to, but that's pretty good for right across the tops and a little bit on the sides. And then now we have calf muscles to do. So take your rolling pin if that's what you're using. You roll out your calves from the back of the knee down to above the heel. Might find some spots that need a little more rolling. You can also take this rolling pin while you have it and do the top of your shin. So if you're going to do the top of your shin, you're going to find one of your shin bones, your tibia, which is here. The fibula is back there. And you're going to find that bony kind of ridge across the front and find the muscle to the side, and that's where you're going to roll out. And then switch sides. And now for the foam roller. You can bend and straighten both knees, kind of rotate the knees in, rotate the knees out. You can add a little extra weight if you need to, cross one leg over, and use the top leg to kind of push down into the bottom leg to add a little weight. And then switch sides. For your shins, depending on your knees, you may or may not want to do this one, but you're going to put your shins on the roller and roll forward and backwards. So it's like sort of being in child's pose. With your shins on the roller, this might be too much, or the knee flexion might be too much, and then maybe use the rolling pin instead. And for the tennis balls, similar to the roller, or you could scoot yourself, you could lift yourself away from the floor and do it that way too. You could also roll side to side, put it in one spot and go side to side. And then switch, so either forward and backwards, or a little bit of forward and backwards. And then roll side to side. You can also move that rolling side to side down the leg, and that's also going to get into that side of the shin as well. So essentially you're doing the back and the front kind of all at once. And so there's that, and we have almost everything done, everything rolled out. We are going to do a little massage for the chest using your hands in a moment. We're going to finish with the tools that we have for the feet. So if you have a rolling pin or the massage stick, you can roll out the foot this way. You can also come up to standing with one foot off of the roller and one foot on the roller and add a little weight that way. And then switch feet. And I'm going from the ball of the foot all the way to the front of my heel. For this one, you could also use a soup can or a can of beans. That would also work as well. With the ball, you would just use one of the balls and roll the foot out. As I said before, you can do this standing. You could also do it sitting in a chair with one foot on the ball, and then switch. All right, so that is the back of us down to all sides of our legs. And the last thing is the chest. So you're going to take one hand just underneath your collarbones, and you're going to just kind of give a little massage along the collarbone. So I'm doing kind of just a little bit of back and forth below the collarbone. And then switch. And then I'm going to take my middle finger and my ring finger and find there's like a little bony knob right here on the front of the shoulder and kind of massage in that area. And then switch, and I'm just going in a circle. And last massage, you're going to take your fingers, so I'm taking my thumb and my pointer finger, and I'm going to let my arm stay relaxed, but I'm going to stick my fingers in my armpit and my thumb on the other side of this muscle, this pectoral muscle, and give it a massage. So try to let this arm relax. You could also rest it on a table. You could also, if you have a partner or a spouse, you could do this to each other. The chest massages, and then switch sides. So fingers go in the armpit, thumb goes on the outside. You're just holding onto that muscle and giving a little massage. And you are all released. Have a wonderful day. Thank you.